today's episode, we established that we are actually real people. We're not just a voice behind the wrong way turned camera. We're finally getting our video sorted out a little bit. We're finally getting our editing sorted out a little better. So, we want to bring to you the latest installment on where we were leading up to where we are today, the backstory. And in today's episode, we're going to cover the journey up from Seattle, Washington, Lake Union, all the way up to Victoria, where we had a near catastrophic engine failure, and we'll clue you in as to what happened there. Basically, we had a significant overheating event, which was due to a breakdown of our exhaust riser pipe leaking out coolant, a broken belt, and on the list goes. But anyway, we'll include a little bit of video as to what we did to correct those issues. And we spent about 2 weeks in Victoria laid up there, and some fun activity for the locals and tourists alike. And we will also continue the journey from Victoria all the way up to where we are today, which is the Discovery Islands, namely Quadra Island, the largest island in the Discovery Islands, just across from Campbell River on Vancouver Island. So I hope you enjoy today's film, and we are looking forward to bringing you many, many more installments and much cuteness. Where'd she go? Oh, there's the cuteness. Hi, guys. Say hi.
Crisis averted.
Crisis was averted. We had a leak in the engine room.
We had a leak with the fresh water. Fresh water supply from the freshwater tanks to the galley sink. The hose came disconnected from the little L valve here, L bracket nipple, and just started pouring fresh water into the tanks, or into the bilge rather. And we're, of course, turning on switches and fucking around with everything until eventually, you know, we're satisfied that we were figuring out how to get the saltwater pump working, and, you know, what does what, and what pumps make what sounds, and which seacocks need to be open, because it's day one, we don't know anything about this boat, really, and so we shut off all the pumps, and lo and behold, the fucking bilge pump is kicking on and off, and I look down into the bilge underneath the diesel there, and water's just flowing like a river, and
It's kind of scary.
my heart starts pumping, and I peek over here and see that there's like a fucking mist of water all over everything, and found where the geyser was, and so it was just pumping all of our fresh water into the bilge here. But fortunately, the fresh water, the pump rather, the pressure was not very high, because we had not turned on the freshwater water pump. So it was just the pressure in the system trickling the water out of the hoses here. But anyway, day one, watching water flowing through the bilge, wondering what the hell did we do. And it's all good now. And what it was this these pipe fittings here, or whatever, little collars. What did you call them, Morgan?
I think they're pipe clamps.
Pipe clamp.
That's what I'm calling them.
I don't know what their technical name is, but they're the little jobbies you tighten up with a screwdriver, and they clamp off your hoses. Hose clamp, basically. It's a hose clamp. That's what it is. Fuck. And yeah, so it had, these things are all due to be replaced. They were rusted, and it had rusted right in half, and then of course the vibration of the boat and whatnot caused the thing to basically break in two, and the freshwater hose to just come off the spigot, and there you go. So when you're doing your annual chuckaroo on everything, have a look at all your little hose clamps and make sure that they are in pristine stainless steel condition. And swap them out if not. Because it sucks to wake up and find your bilges running all night and have no fresh water left.
And tracking down a leaking hose is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's not the funnest thing to do, especially when you don't know what the hell you're looking at on day one with the new toy.
Brand spanking.
Brand spanking new toy. But Ladar Star, we're already getting on really good. She's happy that we're paying attention, and you know, I didn't freak out, call the Coast Guard, and fucking pull the chute yet. So.
No.
So far, so good, but these things are in the worst fucking place imaginable. I'm
Awkward.
in the tightest goddamn fucking mechanics coveralls you'd ever imagine.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
I can see your fine derriere.
yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but we're having fun anyway. What the hell? Okay, maybe I'm not having that much fun, but we're doing what we gotta do here on the Ladar Star. J-Han out.
Jihan out. And we can edit out any of the weird butt shots I just took.
Yeah, those are for.
Oh man. Show them what you did.
Okay. Okay, so here's what we're talking about. Right up in here. So you can immediately see there. That one is still pretty rusty. That one's gotta be replaced. I'll have to do that probably tomorrow just to be safe. And around here is the new one. There we go, there's some light. So yeah, just replace that one there. It slid right off of that nipple. There's a little L nipple there. This one's gonna do the same thing. You see how corroded it is there. And it's fresh water, but still. Stainless steel ain't always stainless, don't we know? And that will split right there eventually, and this will rattle off with vibration and start puking water all out, all over the place. And steel boats like dry bilges, right? So dry bilges. There you go. Ladar Star from the engineering department. Here you go.
my new favorite clock. This is kind of what we're trying to learn right now. Yep. Life lessons. So we got the world famous Victoria water taxi ballet going on here. If I was interested enough, I'd go to the end of the dock so we didn't have anything in the way. But I think you get the idea. You get dizzy just watching this. And then we also have the Tour de France going on up here at the same time.
Busy day in Victoria. This is just so cute.
Needless to say, we no longer sleep in ever.
We wake up to this nonsense. Same thing over and over.
So far there hasn't been any collisions, which I'm pretty impressed with.
This is like why you go watch NASCAR, you're hoping for a collision.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh!
Bumper boats.
Oh, close. Not quite. They are pretty cute. Hi, buddy. Hi, sweetie. Sky's just excited she's enjoying it. Oh, we're gonna have a near miss touch and go scenario. Wow. Wow, you get the idea. They're somewhere in there now.
That speaker system's amazing.
Yeah, the sound system's kicking ass. There they go. So cute.
So graceful.
It's just so cute. Can't even handle it. Wow. They do this every year right before they go in to get repainted. That is pretty impressive, actually.
These things are maneuverable.
They can move. No time to lose power.
I see someone throw someone.
Yeah, they should team up with gymnastics and have like people doing handstands on the decks and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, there should be people jumping.
Look in there. Can you see that okay?
So yeah, I can see the rig that you've done up.
So can you see down here? Stick the phone right down in there if you can. What I'm showing you is a piece of really rusty belt tensioner. It's basically a block that runs inside of another metal block rail type thing. And this was so corroded it was completely frozen in place. So, you know, first thing I did was soak it with WD-40 and try and tighten it, you know, because the idea is to break the bond of the rust to the other rust, right? This is a part and that's the part it's sliding in. WD-40 isn't good for that, but it's all I had on hand at the time, being optimistic, figuring that would do the trick. No good. So next thing I did was try and put a block against the bulkhead here and pry against the back side of this block here with a little crowbar to see if I could move it. No good. Pounding on it, but there's not a lot of space. Can't get a good whack at it to physically bust it loose. Put a impacted drill with just a drill bit on it against the metal block to try and vibrate it. Still no luck. So I rigged up this, you know, pulley here and put cable around the other steel, mounted the bulkhead over there around the either alternator, secondary alternator, and around the base
of the water pump, fresh raw water pump, and I've been just turning this little makeshift come along, and finally it busted it loose after using 3 different kinds of penetrant product on this. It finally just budged loose. So for any of you guys who are having a fuck of a time trying to get C's metal to move, especially belt pulleys, which are important, so now I can finally get this fucking belt off and replace it and finally service my raw water pump. That's a little trick that may work for you, especially as you can see there's no space in here, right? So, you know, space is a premium. This little gadget has worked. I was beginning to lose hope, and I was gonna write a letter and say goodbye to everyone one last time, and then finally it budged. So there you go.
That's
Happy wrenching.
good job, honey. You're so smart.
I don't feel very smart right now. It works. That's all that matters. Oh, fucky space. Fucky the hammer says this sucks. Oh, now it's sliding. Yeah, now it's sliding, no problem. See? That just totally slid, no problem.
Sweet.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I noticed your belt's actually loose now.
Yeah, belt's loose and this thing will actually slide. Yeah. Awesome.
This is left and right brain stuff, everybody.
That was liquid wrench for the win, by the way.
Good to note.
Oh yeah, now it's sliding. No problem. And just another note, since you're probably gonna edit this anyway.
Yeah.
There we go. Fucking nice. Another note is that once you get this level of success here and it starts to slide, you can see there's all kinds of fucking hell smeared in here. Wipe that shit away. Brush it away if you can get it. I'm not even gonna be able to get in there, but I mean, I'll be able to reach down there with a little shop towel and try and wipe away as much of that debris as possible, because when this dries out, it'll continue to oxidize and corrode and just create an even bigger mess. So now that the metal has kind of been lubricated and the rust has been attacked by the penetrant here, wipe as much of that shit away and then fucking grease the shit out of it. Get a grease gun down there, or dielectric grease. Smear it all up, tighten it back up, and hopefully next time it'll be a lot smoother operation for you.
Good.
Yes. Fuck, eh? Wow.
What a fucking journey.
This has been a spiritual, cathartic, existential, fucking
How many levels of hell did we walk through to do this?
all of them. And then back again. Oh fuck. God damn it. Woo! Bust open the bottle of Bud. We've got success.
This is stuff we will be toasting, not.
But nice. But nice. I'm very happy right now.
Tiny and crazy it is in there.
Oh my fuck.
This face is half of my forearm long. This is nothing.
Which is a third of my cock.
And just as hard to work with.
Oh! Just as hard to get in the small spaces, that's for sure. Oh, damn. Oh, that worked and belt's totally fine.
You were just gonna blanket replace belts though, right?
Fucking right I am. Make an okay spare. That's a pretty short little one. Pass me the belt I have over there.
How does it feel to be a diesel mechanic on your boat?
Feels like I'm a giant.
A giant among men.
Feels like I'm a giant among small spaces.
And you found yourself a nice small space.
Jack and the Beanstalk down here. Stinky, sweaty, it's tiring.
There's a nice new blue pipe on there. And things are starting to look new.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know.
Use a good boat mechanic.